Welcome to our installation video for the Quattro Caravan movers. In this video, we will be walking you through the step-by-step process of installing your new mover, ensuring that it is set up properly and ready for use. Before beginning the installation process, it is important to familiarise yourself with the user manual and ensure that you have all the necessary tools and equipment. We will cover a range of topics including proper mounting, electrical connections, and testing the mover to ensure it is functioning properly. Whether you are a seasoned DIYer or a first timer, this video will provide you with all the information you need to install the Quattro Caravan mover. So let's get started. This tutorial is a general guide for the Quattro Caravan movers, and you will still need to refer to your model's user manual as the installation may differ slightly. Before you start, make sure to unpack the box and check the contents to ensure you have all the necessary parts. To begin, make sure your caravan is parked on a hard flat surface. Next, you will need to loosely assemble the motor units and the crossbar. This involves attaching the motors to the crossbar. Make sure that the motors are in the disengaged position. Now you need to jack up the motor units to the appropriate height, ensure that the movers are properly angled to the centre of the wheel, and mark on the chassis where the mounting plates will be fitted. Once you have marked the location of the mounting plates, drill the appropriate bolt holes through the chassis. Using the provided bolts, secure the mounting plates to the chassis. Next, you will need to loosely assemble the clamping plates and use them to attach the motor units and crossbar to the mounting plates. Before you tighten the clamping bolts, you will need to use a 20mm spacer to ensure that the motor units are exactly 20mm from the tyre. This will ensure that the movers are correctly positioned and will not interfere with the caravan whilst disengaged. Once the motor units are properly aligned, you can tighten the clamping bolts to secure the motor units to the mounting plates. After tightening the clamping bolts, you will need to tighten the pinch bolts. After tightening the pinch bolts, it is important to use the 20mm spacer again to ensure that the motor units are still the correct distance from the tyres. Next, you will need to loosely assemble the cross actuation bar. This bar connects the motor units and ensures they are engaged simultaneously. Finally, you will need to tighten all the bolts on the cross actuation bar. That's it for the mechanical installation. Now on to the electrical section. The first step in the electrical installation process is to find a suitable location in the battery compartment to mount the control unit. Next, you will need to drill a hole through the floor in the chosen location. Make sure to avoid any pipes or the chassis while drilling. Before running the wires to the control unit, you will want to use supplied markers on the motor unit wires to help identify which wire is for which motor unit. This will be handy for when you run all the wires to the control unit. To protect the wires, you will need to install the cable conduit. Next, run the wires to the middle of the van, then to the control unit. This ensures the wires are run an equal length to the control unit, which is important for the operation. Once the wires are in place, you will need to route them through the hole that you drilled earlier. Next, you will need to strip 5mm of insulation from the end of the wires and attach the ferrules. These connectors will be used to attach the wires to the control unit. Now it's time to install the wires to the control unit. Please refer to the wiring diagram in your user manual for guidance on how to properly connect the wires. Once the wires are connected to your control unit, you will need to fix the cable conduit to the van using the P-clips provided. This will keep the cables in place and protected. To ensure that the movers can be safely turned on and off, you will need to install an isolation switch in line with the positive connection. This will allow you to easily control the power to the movers. Now run the positive and negative wires from the battery to the control unit. Finally, you will need to reconnect the wires to the battery terminals. That's it, you have now completed the electrical installation of your caravan mover. Make sure to follow all safety guidelines and refer to your user manual for any additional information. Now it's time to test the caravan movers have been installed correctly. First, make sure the battery isolation switch is turned on. This will ensure that the battery is providing power to the movers. Next, double-click the power button on your remote. The audible beep will let you know the movers are ready for use. Leaving the movers disengaged, turn the remote on and test the functionality of the movers, ensuring the rollers are turning the correct direction. Now, engage the rollers by pressing down on the lever. You should feel the rollers start to move and grip the tyre. You will feel a click when the movers are fully engaged. The engagement method will vary depending on the version of movers you have. Please refer to your manual for the movers engagement method. Finally, check the motors to make sure they are turning the right direction by using the directional buttons on the remote. Please refer to the troubleshooting guide in the manual should you encounter any issues, or give the team at Purple Line a call. Congratulations, you have successfully installed the movers. For further information, please visit our website.